A crowded airport, cameras everywhere. A billionaire's pregnant wife walks in holding papers she was told to deliver. But what happens next will destroy everything because his mistress kicks her across the marble floor while he watches. And her powerful CEO father is about to step off his plane and see it all. This isn't just a scandal. This is the moment justice lands. Tell us what time you're listening and where you're tuning in from. Drop a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. The airport terminal glowed like a palace of glass and steel. Afternoon sunlight poured through massive windows, scattering gold across marble floors that reflected everything like mirrors. The air buzzed with rolling suitcases, announcements echoing overhead, and the scent of expensive cologne mixing with jet fuel. Near Gate 12, cameras were already assembled. Reporters adjusted their equipment, waiting for the arrival of Marcus Sterling, Billionaire, CEO of Sterling Tech, the man whose face graced magazine covers and whose name meant power. Marcus stood surrounded by his PR team, navy suit pressed sharp, phone in hand, scrolling through stock reports. Beside him, Victoria Lane adjusted her crimson dress, her hand possessive on his arm, smiling for cameras that hadn't even started rolling yet. Then the automatic doors slid open. Elena Sterling entered holding a manila envelope against her chest. Her pale blue maternity dress caught the light softly. 6 months pregnant, tired but determined, she'd come because of a text that morning, an urgent message from Sterling Tech requesting Marcus's signature on her medical insurance forms before his Singapore trip. She saw him instantly. Her husband, the man who once brought her tea at sunrise, who called her his compass. Now he stood beside another woman in red, both laughing as if the world existed only for them. Elena's steps slowed, but she kept walking. The folder pressed tighter against her chest. Marcus's expression changed when he noticed her. Surprise, then irritation flashing across his face. He turned slightly as if she were an interruption to something important. Victoria noticed too. Her smile thinned into something sharp. The crowd noise seemed to dim. The airport held its breath. Marcus, Elena's voice trembled but stayed polite. I just need your signature for the baby's insurance. He didn't answer, didn't even look at her properly. Victoria tilted her head, her voice smooth but laced with poison. She's following us again, doesn't she understand boundaries? Her words carried just far enough for nearby passengers to hear. Marcus's jaw tightened. Elena, you shouldn't be here. This is a business trip. I know, but... Elena blinked, confusion mixing with hurt. You didn't reply to my messages. I thought maybe. Maybe what? Victoria stepped closer, heels clicking sharply against marble. That he still cares? You've embarrassed him enough. Go home. The silence between them grew thick and heavy. Elena looked from her husband to the woman beside him. Something inside her collapsed, but she held out the folder anyway. Just sign it, Marcus, please. His phone buzzed. He glanced at it, pretending not to hear. Cameras began to click, catching the uneasy scene. Then Victoria moved, one sharp motion, sudden and brutal. Her heel struck Elena's stomach with a sickening thud. The folder flew from Elena's hands, papers scattering like broken wings. She gasped, the air ripped from her lungs and fell backward. Her head hit the floor with a dull crack. For a heartbeat, no one breathed. Then a scream tore through the hall. A coffee cup shattered. The intercom stuttered mid-sentence. Victoria stood frozen, hands trembling in midair, her red dress suddenly looking like a warning no one had heeded. Elena lay on the marble, her blue dress crumpled beneath her. She reached for the folder, fingers slipping across cold stone. Her breath came in sharp, painful gasps. She's pregnant, someone shouted. The crowd surged closer. A woman knelt beside Elena but was pulled back by security. Marcus's voice cut through the noise. Stay back, she's fine. He didn't move toward his wife. He simply adjusted his cufflinks, his face blank, as if denying what everyone had seen could make it vanish. Elena's eyes opened wide, staring up at ceiling lights that blurred into halos. The sound of phones recording filled the air. Flash after flash captured the scene, the woman in blue on the ground, the man in the suit standing frozen, the mistress trembling beside him. "Marcus," Elena whispered. "The baby." Her hand gripped her belly protectively. Victoria turned her face away, mascara already streaking, realizing what she'd done. Marcus stood motionless, calculating. He whispered to his assistant, "Delete this, handle it." But the world was already watching. A teenage boy nearby uploaded the first clip. Billionaire's mistress attacks pregnant wife at airport. Within seconds, phones buzzed. Screens lit up across the terminal. Security guards hesitated, unsure whom to protect. Elena tried to sit up, but pain seized her body. She collapsed again, breathing faint but defiant. Near the control room window, a technician adjusted the CCTV monitor. On screen, amid the chaos, the camera caught a private jet taxiing down the runway. The logo on its tail gleamed gold, Harper Global. Back in the hall, the crowd continued filming. Marcus finally looked down at his wife, not with concern, only calculation. The intercom crackled to life. "Private jet arrival. Harper Global flight has landed. Please clear VIP lane." Light from the windows grew sharper, flooding the floor with white. Elena lay still, breathing shallowly, papers from her folder scattered around her like fallen petals. One page landed near Marcus's shoes, his signature line staring up at him, empty. Somewhere beyond the glass, the private jet's engines faded, replaced by the echo of footsteps approaching the terminal. Inside the hall, no one noticed yet. Cameras were still flashing. Then the VIP doors opened. A tall figure stepped through the brightness. Silver hair caught the light. A black suit absorbed it. Power moved with him, quiet and absolute. James Harper, Elena's father. The crowd parted without being told. His shoes stopped at the edge of the light. His voice came low and cold, filling every corner of the space. "What the hell did you just do to my daughter?" The hall fell silent. James knelt beside Elena, his hand trembling once before steadying as he brushed hair from her forehead. "Stay still, sweetheart. You're safe now." "Dad," she whispered. The single word broke something inside him. He turned to the paramedics. "Call the trauma unit, now." Then he rose slowly to his full height and looked at Marcus and Victoria. "Who did this?" A security guard pointed toward Victoria. James's eyes locked onto her. "You kicked a pregnant woman," Victoria's voice cracked. "I didn't mean to, I lost control." "You didn't lose control," James said quietly. "You lost your humanity." Marcus tried to step forward. "James, listen, this isn't what it looks like." "Not what it looks like." James's tone was ice. "She's bleeding, Marcus." On the massive screen above, the security footage began to play. The crowd gasped. Victoria's kick, Elena's fall, Marcus standing frozen. The truth was undeniable. James pulled out his phone, his voice steady. "Pull Harper Global out of Sterling Tech. Immediately. Terminate every partnership, every contract, every cent." Marcus's face drained of color. "You can't, and I'm fixing my mistake," James said. Within minutes, sirens wailed outside. Officers entered, badges gleaming. "Marcus Sterling, Victoria Lane, you're under arrest for aggravated assault." Handcuffs clicked shut around their wrists. Cameras exploded with flashes. As they were led away, James returned to his daughter's side. "It's over," he whispered. "Justice has begun." 3 months later, sunlight filled the Harper estate garden. Elena walked slowly along the gravel path, her baby daughter in her arms. The world had quieted, no sirens, no cameras, only birds and wind and the sound of a life beginning again. Inside, James sat reading the newspaper. The headline, "Sterling sentenced to 10 years. Harper Foundation expands support for women and children." Elena entered, smiling softly. "She's perfect," James said, looking at his granddaughter. "She has Mom's eyes," Elena replied. "And your strength." Elena placed a bouquet of blue flowers on the staircase step where she'd once feared she'd never climb again. "For every step we fell," she whispered, "we'll take 2 back up." If this story touched your heart, drop a comment below telling us where you're listening from. Your voice matters. Every story of survival deserves to be heard. Let's stand together, because when one woman rises, we all do.